I just remembered today's Tuesday, meaning that I should be out there and painting. Let's go. Heavy. What's up guys, my name is Shunzi and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna go out and do some landscape painting and it's gonna be fun.
Okay guys, right now I'm just putting down some paint. I totally forgot my palette and I'm just using this cardboard as a my temporary palette. So it wasn't the best idea because the palette is so dark and I was having a hard time to identify the values when I paint. But I was eager to paint, so I just want to get started as soon as possible. Anyways, right now I'm just laying in some lines and just the basic drawing, a couple of perspective lines, just want to remind myself, what do I want to include on my canvas, because the landscape painting normally are horizontal compositions, but I'm using this vertical. I just turn my canvas around. I do want to include a little more between the foreground and the bridge, so therefore it's a vertical composition. That's pretty much it. That's my lay-in, and right now I'm just gonna starting to put in some darks and some really saturated colors. I see lots of greens, lots of really saturated blues. Obviously it's overcast, so a lot of colors are much more muted. Well, right now the video is sped up 2 times of the normal speed, and I just want to including as much as the painting as possible. I didn't want to skip too much, so actually I did 2 painting today, and one is outdoors, other one is indoors, so please check the time code if you like to skip certain part of the video. So right now I'm still establishing some of the colors and try to fill the canvas, because I still see a lot of empty space, so therefore I'm trying to establish some of the foreground right now, and as well as the sky. I'm constantly checking back and forth between the value and also the saturation of the colors. So the bridge, obviously it's very saturated green versus the little yellow shad. It's really a yellowish color, and then there's a double door next to the shad. It's very light bluish, so I just changed my camera angle right now. Just give a closer look of the canvas. And I'm adding a little more yellowish and greenish colors, a little more warmer tones versus the bluish bridge, and also the almost a little purplish in the front, the driveway, which is the foreground. Normally when I paint, I normally don't really listen to music because it's very distracting, and I think sometimes I just really enjoying the moment and focusing on the painting itself. I think sometimes when I do listen to music, I kind of start drifting into the music instead of focusing on what I'm seeing. So I try to force myself just focusing on the painting, and even it was quite noisy in the background. So at this stage, I'm pretty much finished. The overall painting took me about an hour and a half. So it's fairly, quick process. I use a lot of paint when I paint. Sometimes I use much bigger brushes. For this painting, I do use a like small, medium size. Just kind of give you a different feel of certain brush strokes if you use a different size of brushes, even the shape of the tips. So I'm establishing a couple more dark spots, and I love to paint the overcast scenarios because it's just really nice, and it's very chill. You don't have the sun in your face, and also the color themes, it feels, it's muted.
Lunchtime. So that was good. And I have my setup, and I do have my palette, so that's kind of nice. And if you look closely, the palette is nothing but just a picture frame with a glass top, and it's very cheap, very portable, and it doesn't really cost anything. If you buy it used, it's literally maybe a couple dollars from Salvation Army store. So, and the canvas I'm using is already toned canvas. This is from a art supply store, and it's already toned because most canvases are not toned, so you have to tone it before you start painting. Most canvases are just pure white. So this. Okay, my scene is fairly straightforward. I got yellow doors and much gray background, the walls, which it creates really nice contrast. It's very saturated yellow versus very bluish, greenish wall, and we have several other color spots around. So it's fairly straightforward, but also you want to convey a idea and a message when you paint. So therefore, let's get started. Get some really distinguished line going on here. So we got this thing. Maybe I can crop it this way. Composition is really, really important. Think about painting or drawing or any sort of visual elements. How you frame your stuff. So this is very dramatic. If I do it this way, then I have lots of sofa, a little bit sofa here and there. So, and I do have this very dark painting like right in the middle of the spot. So I'm gonna move the painting a little bit towards this side, and I got a beam coming down. So that's my scene right there. And so I'm thinking, should I include both yellow doors and the sofa? Okay, so let's get some color going on. A little bit blue, that's black. be more saturated or less saturated. Maybe it's not about saturation, maybe it's just changing about the hue to make it more green than yellow, right? They're still in the same family, but we want to develop into my own idea of what I'm seeing. And of course the paint in the middle, that's going to be almost the main character. Because right now I'm, trying to get some warm color in the walls and some cooler color in the walls. The question is, can I do it simultaneously? And sometimes you can. Just make sure you control your values and make sure the value between the door and the walls. It's very straightforward. And which one's lighter and darker, which one's more saturated, which one is less saturated. Sometimes it's really based on a personal opinion, but how I see things, sometimes I don't even see it. I just feel like it feels good, then I just do it. Sometimes you don't want to overthink, because that's all. To my canvas, I'm still continue to dip into my phthalo blue. Once again, phthalo green. I do like the nice green I'm getting. But at the same time, I'm getting a lot of really nice warm colors, warm and cools, or anywhere in between the two. I think I might want to make the wall a little darker than I'm getting right now, so the red is going to help to desaturate the green, of course. It's complementary color. So I'm going to try to hopefully, maybe it's the light. Don't blame the light. Good, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the doors and work on the doors. We're going to get a lot of yellow, a lot of lighter colors. And what's lighter than yellow is white. So the question is, the yellow by itself is enough. Sometimes it is enough, so I dip into red to be a little warmer and different hue, right? Different hue, different ideas. Try to convince an idea. I like that. Some more yellow. So I'm going to dip into this alizarin a little bit. So the alizarin, when it's desaturated or when it's lightened, alizarin really becomes red. So, but it's a different type of red. It's cooler and it's almost more purplish, so therefore try to implement some of the alizarin into my the warm colors. Cooler. Here we're gonna keep the saturation low. Floor, the door. So the floor actually is darker than the walls. So we're gonna use all the elements except I have my blue now, so that's good. So I'm gonna a little bit purple in there. Warms and cool. Working. Alright. So I'm gonna keep even cooler still. Alright, then change new paper towel, wipe it down. I'm gonna finish this door here. So I see a lot of shadow in the door, so therefore I'm gonna make it cooler and a little darker in value. So as you can see, in the shadow of the door, the yellow color is still gonna be dominating. Even the hue changes, the temperature is still gonna be there. Push certain areas of hues, and the question is, am I blending? Well, the question is, am I blending, or I'm just applying values, or both? you know, I do think about the edges, I do think about the saturation of each stroke, so but then at the same time I tone that down. So just a number, and I don't know, maybe sometimes you have to, yep, that's cool. And I'm gonna saturate this. Ooh, what if I just try to do that? Give a little bit of green instead of blue, and a little more bluish, so meaning that it's gonna be cooler. And of course, the further door, the door is in the distance, meaning that the contrast is going to be less, and it's going to be less saturated. So I'm painting a painting here because there's a painting on the wall, so I'm gonna not try to mimic exactly the value or the shapes, maybe just an idea of the painting. So that's okay. It's working well. Okay, so here's a little, you know, I think I'm missing something here, so I'm gonna just add that in there. Sometimes you just seek the opportunity to make something interesting. I'm not saying make stuff up, but why not? In fact, I'm not making this up. But that is a wall socket. Okay, then go a bit dark. So sometimes I literally peeking through my camera view just get a good idea of, instead of squinting, I'm just looking at the little screen on my GoPro here, trying to have an idea what I'm painting. You're constantly checking your arithmetics. You're you almost like you're writing an essay or something. You obviously have to check your grammar and step back and look the overall. But it satisfies you based on your personal experience. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't.
Okay guys, those two are my paintings for my weekend painting sessions. So thank you so much for watching, and if you like my video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. My name is Shunzi, and thank you for watching.